Hello, gentlemen. And again, we're back with Toxie, and Toxie's brought us a friend. Toxie, would you like to introduce your friend to us?
Of course, this is Lloyd Kaufman, creator of the Toxic Avenger.
Who knew?
Excellent. I'm very excited to have Lloyd Kaufman. Oh my God. I have always wanted to ask you one question that you've probably been asked a billion times. What was the first horror movie you saw?
Bambi. I was in my mother took me to see Bambi when I was about 5 years old. It was the most frightening experience of my life, other than working in the movie industry. I was in the fetal position for 6 months after Bambi. Just sitting next to my mother was, if you've seen Mother's Day, my brother's movie, that was based on our mother. So that was scary enough, but to see Bambi with the father and the fire and horrible, horrible.
That sort of explains a lot for me. I have to thank you for that. Absolutely. Well, I'm very excited to be here this evening. I'd like you to tell me why I'm so excited to be here this evening. What do we say?
Well, you're excited because tonight the Toxic Avenger's in the house, and he does not exactly, if it weren't videology, he wouldn't be here, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Toxie gets invited to red carpets. We don't do the red carpet. We don't do things where they have $50,000 gowns and all that kind of shit.
Sir, you do red carpets. They're just red for another reason.
Red carpet.
They're bloody carpets.
We do green or brown. We don't even have Blu-rays. We have blue cheese. But Toxie's here at Videology, which is a real place that worships at the shrine of independent art. That's what it's all about.
I agree. Independent art is what it's about. And you keep coming with brilliant ideas all the time. What excites you today? Do you get more ideas? Are you frustrated by
Well, I'll tell you what excites me today, and I'm very upset about it, is that the Obama police state, who are worshiping the elites and who seem to be vassals of the rich people, they have now decided to get rid of net neutrality on the internet. They're going to get rid of the open internet. The FCC has decided, even though Obama said he would support net neutrality, front page of the New York Times today, crowing about they're going to put in a toll road in the internet, so the Rupert Murdochs, you'll be able to get Disney, you'll get Paramount, you'll get CBS. You won't get Troma on this fancy toll road on the internet. Troma, Videology, Toxie will be on a dirt road. So if you value the current open, democratic, and diverse internet, tell your elected representatives that if net neutrality and the open internet go away, so will your elected representatives. Kick them out, because the internet's the last democratic medium. It's all bullshit. The internet's the last independent art and commerce depend on the internet. Innovation depends on the internet. There would be no Netflix. There would be no Kickstarter. All these things, there'd be no Troma, no Videology probably. All innovation comes off the internet. And now they're going to make it so that there's a superhighway. If you can pay, you can put your website on the superhighway. But we won't be able. It'd be like ABC. We can't get Videology on ABC or CBS or NBC. So that's what I'm thinking about right now, and that's a pretty scary notion, because that's all the other layers of communication are under the thumb of Rupert Murdoch, Viacom, Comcast. It's an elite group, and unless you're in with the vassals of these devil-worshipping international mega conglomerates, you cannot get your art or your commerce to the public. So net neutrality and the open internet were our last democratic medium, our last way to compete with an even playing field with the giant media conglomerates. So now the playing field is going to be like a greased stripper's pole. It'll be impossible for us to get up, because we won't be able to pay the toll booth. That, thanks to Obama's FCC, all chance of any kind of level playing field is gone. What is this Obama, too? He's got federal cops able to stop people and have them voluntarily answer questions now. And of course, if you don't answer, it's a police state. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. And, Troma's great, and it's my life. But this is more important.
It is equally important because Troma is important because it's a symbol of something that we want to continue desperately. And there are ways, and you're right, it's the voice of the people that'll help get things like this be able to continue. The people can keep seeing what they want to see, reading what they want to see, and going forward. Which brings me to my question. I overheard you talking about reviewers, which is interesting because the power of the internet means it's the power of the people, but we're taking that away. What is your thought on that? With the person out in Nowheresville, wherever, can have the same impetus and same kind of word that people will hear as someone, as you mentioned, a critic of the New York Times. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the problem is that the gatekeepers very often are prejudiced, and they have every right to be prejudiced. So, that's their right. If they want to, if they want to make a company like Troma look bad, God bless them. They can do whatever they want. The point is, the internet is a level playing field. So
it remains that way.
So if we have something that is interesting, and Troma does, we get 500,000 people every month who go to our website. We have just as much ability as Disney, but nowhere else. We have no Trey Parker and Matt Stone made Cannibal the musical for Troma. It's never been on American TV, even though it's a huge success on home video. Toxie's fourth movie, Citizen Toxie, never been on American TV because the laws that used to protect the public against monopoly have all been done away with, except for the only thing left is the internet. And that is now being perverted by the Obama's FCC. And the guy he appointed to the FCC, Tom Wheeler, is a guy coming out of he's come out of Comcast world. He's part of that world.
It does seem like the decks are stacked, but I'm still going to be optimistic and hope that Troma and the internet prevails.
It won't. This is Obama is to the right of Nixon. Obama is it's unbelievable. Nixon at least was for the environment. He got rid of the gold standard. Nixon was a commie compared to this Obama guy. And Obama's done nothing for the so-called minorities that he claims to try to help. He gives lip service. It's like Russia. They say net neutrality, and then yes, net neutrality. Comcast can rule the world. That's net neutrality. They just changed the name of it. Like an independent movie. Juno is an independent movie. $12 million made by the son of Tom Hanks. That's independent? I'm sorry, that is not independent. And it ain't Jean-Luc Godard. It is not going to change the world one iota. It's a good movie. It's a lot of fun, but so is champagne. But that's not going to, that's not going to save, cure cancer or get people thinking or change art. It's not Van Gogh.
Well said.
But I'm not bitter.
Well, I'm still very excited to see this movie, which I recently saw on my own yet again, and I love the one we're seeing this evening.
Yeah, that tells you something. We are seeing a movie made in 1986. I don't think there are too many movies that were made in 1986 that spent millions and millions of dollars advertising that people are showing to a public. And here we made this little movie, right, which actually the New York Times did give it a good review, even though I hate...
It's a slice of the 80s, if nothing else, and it has the exuberance of it, and I laugh throughout the whole thing, and I can't wait to see it this evening.
Well, thank you. After Troma Entertainment's the oldest independent movie studio, 40 years this year. And
very proud of.
The Toxic Avenger and I are very proud to be on Hot Indie News. We really thank Hot Indie News for taking the trouble to see the merit of the original class of Newcomb High, and now return to Newcomb High.
And I absolutely can't wait to see your next movie.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you both. Thank you, Toxie, for your introduction.